Welcome to the Real Double Dose Channel broadcast station, focused on the real reels of real life, love, growth, and of course, elevation within all levels. RDDC is exactly the place where anyone can discover more depth, love, light, and clarity within themselves, and elevate from other people's walks of life, conversations, and questions, along with deeper insights. So tune in and be a part of the Double Doses with Lexus T and RDDC.
Hello, everyone. This is your girl, Lexus T. Thank you for being on here with me. And I'm trying to start this off differently. You heard the intro, but just to let you know, check out www.realdoubledosechannel.com. Any updates coming, as well as the other rollouts and Lex Effect coaching and beyond. So I wanted to say thank you, and I'm kind of changing it, throwing it into a different kind of perspective. I'm still on this healing journey. Still have therapy and stuff to go from walking and occupational, so forth. So this is a series called, I believe it's no yesterdays, no tomorrows, only today, if I'm not wrong. So this might be part 3, but you don't really know where to start while you're still a part of the journey. And then at the same time, there's so much that happened, everyone. And if you're not familiar with this new conversation, please listen to the past episode, at least one time or two from now from the updates. But yeah, I was hospitalized for about a month. And now I'm outpatient and I'm still wearing my gauze and very much ready to go back to the hospital just in case I'm needed to go back in. And I have a very heavy surgery team. I would say heavy because it's probably at least 10 doctors, maybe 12 that came in and rotated every day that I know of, but probably is a larger staff than that I know of. I have the clinic here in Rochester, Minnesota, highly rated one, they say. So I guess this conversation is, where am I at now? And how can this relate to you? Because even though I'm giving conversations about this, I want to be able to relate it to where you are, or possibly what you've dealt with in your journey, getting that feeling, getting that scope. And I will say, when it comes down to it, now I'm standing up, everyone. I want you to know, sometimes I've been sitting down a lot with different things happening while recording, but I've been standing up, getting my lungs going, getting the conversation. So I hope you can hear me. I'm near it enough and it feels good, but I am using my diaphragm and my movements and trying to go here and my pain level controlling. So I want to be here with you all, though, and share that message. And basically, I want to say, I was going to call it the fruits of love. And this is based on the journey that I'm dealing with and dealt with. And I'm still having to go on and follow up with the hospital for some certain treatment issues. Yes, I know. The most pristine hospital in the world, they say number one, still has this kinks in the chain when it comes down to certain people working there. And for disclosure, I'm not naming the names. Maybe on Patreon, we'll do a little dropping of conversations and different stuff like that. But, it's all about discrepancy. But I thought about how they have, and I know you've seen these videos, the fruits of love or the shaping of love, the fruits shaping something. We'll get the passion fruit out of hashtag, what shape is your love, right? There you go. And I thought about how they have the cool, and I've seen a lot of, I don't know if it's Oriental farmers, different videos they've shown before, but in those countries, I'm pretty sure they're here too, in the States and different ones. It doesn't matter culturally, probably everywhere at this point, where they have like these cool little designs where they make the watermelon into hearts or cool squares and stuff like that. They look like a little cube. They're so awesome looking, They shape them at an early stage to where the fruit basically grows into that shape. And it's so beautiful and it's so unique. Even though it's the same fruit, the way it's shaped is so appealing. I'm not sure. I don't know. They might have diamonds. They might not. I don't know how many shapes they have, but I saw the heart one and I saw the square one. And I think maybe some kind of, I don't know, this shape one, a rectangle. And I thought about hashtag the fruits, the shaping of the shaped fruits. I forgot what I said anyway. You know what I'm saying? The shaping of our love, or the fruits of our love. Okay, shaping the fruits of our love. And I thought, man, if those situations had happened to me in the hospital during my time with that bacterial infection going crazy and literally almost getting into sepsis, into a coma, and to all these things happening, and almost nearly 9 surgeries later, fasting all day, going through this, maybe 40 different nurses in that time, of coming back and forth, different ships rotating. Some amazing, some pretty cool, and some are like, man, what happened? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, que como tú sabes, okay? Like, you know, pero I was thinking to myself, and I'm really cool with people. I'm really like, I don't high and mighty nothing. I just expect people to hopefully see the best of them. And I don't know, I thought about some of their face expressions, some of the people I've passed by in the hallways, some of the people who just showed this affectionate love where you know when they went at home, they had this deep kind of heart, this deep feeling, this deep essence where it was like, you know, their children, their loved ones had this cool connection with them because they just had that depth of love. It wasn't just a, hey, I'm a nurse or hey, I'm a PCA, I forgot what it's called. CPA, I forgot the name. Patient care assistant. I'm not sure what the proper names are anymore. My sister, passed away, God rest her soul, and different levels she was at, going to the stages of her nursing. But I look at all that and I'm thinking, man, what gets people so bitter? What gets us so in a mindset to where we're so into ourselves and what we have going on? We bring that into the workplace. We bring that into a church facility, or we bring that into a store, mean mugging people with our frumpy dumpy faces, or having an attitude with our spouse, and I'm guilty of a lot of things of just having that when I'm not, and I tell them I'm quick to apologize, sincerely mean it, it hurts me. But I look at like all of that, the fruits in shaping our love is like, what is all that about? Are we turning into the heart? Are we turning into the square box that's just condensed and packed? Looks pretty unique, but when you cut it open, it's so compact and dense, you're missing most of the meat inside, the flesh that throbs, the heart. Like, I don't know what it is. For me to go through what I went through, I had to call housekeeping, get the room together. I had literally had to orchestrate so much stuff. And my mom did with her head injury and forgetting things and different stuff that kind of mimics dementia. It's like her being there physically was a nice comfort, but mentally and emotionally, it was really hard on that journey because I still had to be a caretaker. And it took me days, maybe a week or so, to even enjoy a meal without feeling I was going to throw up or having some kind of nausea medicine in there. And that even took hours. I literally had a window to eat for like 2 hours at night before my next surgery and go back. Then I found out later from one of the doctors, which is pretty cool, Dr. O, I'll just say, that I could have been having juices 2 hours up to my surgery, but I'm glad to be safe than sorry. But people just hit, so one person comes in and tells you one thing, another person goes by another protocol, which to me is bad communication of what people want to do with the system. But I'm just going to say it made me look at, no matter what I was doing in that bed, I asked God, no matter what I feel with God. And the Bible says something about that too. Like, and I can't find it right now, but whatever you're going through, don't cast it on someone else so they have a different relationship with God. And I thought, God, out of all the pouting I did, where I was like, Lord, how could this be? All this journey, the money I spent, the time being a caretaker nurse myself, being all this other stuff, trying to be there for everyone except myself. I understand this journey is a long understanding. Just because it's telling me, hey, Lex, just because you got 20 gifts and talents that are off the chain, like your music, your book writing, all the stuff that I could gift you, it doesn't mean you can neglect yourself in the process of already neglecting what you have going on because you got so much going on. And I looked at that, I'm like, man, but it also asked God. I remember Hector, Mr. Hector, who does his HVH every Friday. He reminded me of how strong my prayers are. And I know people say God answers prayers. Yes, he does. But there's a different kind of relationship, not just the star seed indigo, not just the Hayoko or the seer passed on from my mother seeing and being a seer and so forth through our bloodline. But I noticed that even though I can be disconnected from worldly things too, don't get me wrong, I'm still in the flesh. Definitely not perfect. Imperfection. I am perfectly perfect in my imperfection in this human form, but the spirit of God is always perfect. And I thought, man, Hector has said, you pray for me because your prayers come. They come quick. And I'm like, yeah, because a lot of times people meditate on prayer as though God, and I tell my mom that she gets kind of mad before, but prayer circle, prayer warriors, like hey, by any means you can connect to God, that's fine. But to sit there like the Pharisees or Sadducees and just, oh Lord, please hear our cry. For me, it's kind of like God's not ignorant. God knows our thoughts before we know him. We don't have God's thoughts. So God already knows what's on our hearts and our minds. It's just the belief and faith, the hope, the power, and the knowingness that comes along with it. And sometimes I just have to let it go and it just flows. Like me asking God, hey, on the ninth surgery, Lord, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I really felt that. And a couple hours later, Dr. O came in saying, hey, we're not gonna go into surgery. That right there was not a mistake or a fluke. It was truth. Like it comes into all those things, and if my prayers being answered, it's like hasn't our prayers always been answered though? Like no matter how we see them, just because they don't come in the form of what we think they should be done in is done. Like me crying and getting upset, like holding my hands up, saying, Abba, Abba, Father, what do you want with me? Like, what's going on? Why am I going? And it never was a Lex altitude, like, oh, I'm all this and I'm all that. I shouldn't be going through this. I shouldn't be going through that. It had nothing to do with that. It was more like, man, I know I have a greatness to do. I know we have this big temple and retreat and different things. I know we have all this stuff in the roster. I'm trying not to go in debt by loaning or doing this. We probably do some crowdfunding and some other stuff. But I'm like, it's for change and the health and mental health without just pills and different kind of fads and fake stuff out here. What's going on? Now, if you hear something right now, I'm gonna put a timeout. Sorry, my water was getting a little cold. We're having a lot of tree cutters around the area, even outside the buildings, outside the homes, and they're doing the whole little Minnesota cleanup thing. And if it's too loud, I'm sorry. I'll try to speak louder, but I can't do anything about that right now. It's just been going on since about 7 this morning, and right now we're hitting. Well, we're after noon. But I can't do anything about that right now, and it is what it is. So just want to put a little, out there. But me sitting there having that just miserable, time stopped. And I looked at that and I was like, man, I already said, God, when the ER came and put their hands around me and started praying, the doctors from the ER said we need to go to emergency surgery. They took the time to pray, all of them. My mom led the prayer and we held hands. It was so surreal, people. I'm telling you, like a movie. We think everything's a movie because it's outside of our perspective to a certain way, but it's like it felt so weird. I was thinking, man, Lord, if you just give me the regret that I have, and I'm gonna have another conversation about regret, but the feeling of, man, I could have did this, I should have did this, I did it. What am I doing? I got this other stuff with the partnership, I got this, all the stuff sitting on the table. Have I been too busy complaining and whining, or not making enough time, or taking too long? Is this my last ticket up? If it is, I'm sorry that I let you down. But God, please be with those that I love. Please be with them in their hurt if I go away. Please help them organize my passing and help them get rid of the stuff that I have and utilize the stuff that I have and live their lives free. And I realized at that moment, my fruit was shaped the way love should be, but it didn't have the shape of my love for me. It had my shape and the love for others. And yes, people say that's great humility. That's good, Lex. You're not self-centered. Oh, okay, so of course not. I believe to myself at a good degree, I'm the most selfless person. And that's still bad because I'm not self-full or selfish, kinda, right? There's more selfish-ish. But I'm like, I'm not full of self. So I'm like, what am I doing? I'm becoming more or less of self by emptying myself out. For those that only the self, the illumination of the self, which that book's we're going to roll out real soon. Don't worry about that. Getting that organized. That's my chapter to do right now. I believe that God's calling me to really finish and go do. And hopefully hashtag Mr. Ernie Hudson, like we gave a hug and you wanted to come out. I can't wait to have you on with me. But, pero, I looked at that and I'm like, man, I'm still praying for those, and that's good. Pray for others. But I also need to pray upon myself and not pray upon myself. I need to pray, P-R-A-Y, upon myself and not P-R-E-Y, upon myself and thyself. Because I looked at that and I'm thinking, man, out of everything going on, you're still worried about this and that, but I'm just coming to God saying, man, I don't want to let you down more than I have, and this is my stage, like this is how I'm going out. I was like, you're gonna take me out like that? You're gonna take me out like that, man? I didn't see that coming. I can only imagine how people go out of life. Train comes, someone breaks in your house, this is happening. Yeah, at the last moments, if they have time to think, they're probably like, damn, I'm going out like this. Like I was like, man, I never thought it'd be surgery. I try to keep my super hygiene on point, try to keep this, try to keep that. Don't get me wrong. I know it wasn't my fault and it wasn't the crazy bacteria and stuff. It was a nail cut from trying to take the anger out on that bikini line. I don't know what I was thinking, just frustrated. But I knew I was putting in the anger and the frustration of the world in there. I did. I consciously, it's a spiritual feeling I can't really explain. And you don't get the vibe of what I'm saying unless you're it. Right? That's just what it is. You can kind of understand a little bit, but even like, Lex, what are you talking about? I'm talking a little faster so I can get, well, one, my lungs work differently now since I had all the surgery and anesthesia and all this other stuff going on with oxycodone and so forth, which I let go of that some weeks ago. Also, I'm standing up and I'm moving around a little bit to keep my blood circulating, and I'm feeling the energy. So I don't want you to think, but you can slow this down. That's a good thing about having these audios and so forth and broadcast podcasts, you know. But I looked at all that and I'm thinking, man, I need to start preying upon myself and not become the prey to myself. You know, just and I don't do it for humility, everyone. I don't do it for like if it is awesome, but I don't do it so I can be, oh Lord, I'm looking good, I'm doing deeds, I'm this way. You can't lie to God. God knows everything about the particles, even in your system that you never knew existed. You know, you can't do that. So why would I get out of it? I'm in love with serving people. I'm in love with being around people and seeing them smile. But it bothers me when those people just take, consume, and their smiles are about selfishness. But it's not bad to be selfless, so don't get me wrong. But it's bad to be so empty with the self that you're not focusing on yourself. So you can be there for the other selves out there who forgot about themselves, who need to know about themselves, who need to trust in understanding who the self is and illuminating themselves openly enough to where they're letting God's illumination captivate them. All of those who mean to be on the right path have the illumination of light. And even those who have the darkness and all the things and the deeds, they still were made from the illumination of light, the creator, the breath of all things. Life is what we make it, they say. And I truly believe so many parts of that. But we also have other aspects of people's, you know, you go down the road, somebody could be a bad driver. You go to a restaurant, someone could pop off. A lot of things are out of our element, even though we're all connected. You know, we're all cousins here, regardless of how you look at it. We're distant cousins, we're cousins. And there's some that are really true brothers and sisters without even being blood related. But what shape has the passion, or what passion of the fruit of the passion? You know where I'm going here with this? What has the shape been for you and I? Did we, or are we allowing those around us, right? From the staff who worked on my, or barely kind of helped me in between doing stuff, just bare minimalizing it, the bitterness in their faces, the love in some others, and the abundance in some others. Or me sitting there wallowing, and not even wallowing. I guess I was just so like, I was just mad, like pouting to my, well, God, like just pouting like I was pouting to my dad. Like, man, puffy. I can't believe it. Like, really? This is what I get? This is my punishment? What I do? Like, what I do wrong? Why am I getting punished? You know, then I was like, well, who are you? Lex, you know who you are. You know what you are. You know what you are. And I kind of don't give myself the excuse to be that way, but I still have the human experience, just like Christ had the human experience. And I was thinking, man, what is all this about? So, you know, Lord, though ye slay me, I shall put my trust in thee. Now, that's not the exact words from the book of Job, but though you slay me, I shall put my trust in thee. And I had to remember my mom telling me that all the time. Perfect love casts out all fear. From Cali to beyond stayed in my head. And I thought, God still allowed me to be here right now. Even though surgeries were going on, I still was nervous. I knew it was okay. I'm like, regardless of what it is, I can't go back and change it. Only God has the thermometer to change it. Only God has the steering wheel to be it. Only I can come to my Lord and my Father and say, whatever you do with me, Lord, I pray that I did the best that I could. I know your best is there. And if you feel like my time's done and I made it this far playing and lollygagging around, I apologize, but I'm here. And I thought I was doing the best. I thought I could be better, and I was going down the wrong path, apparently, in some way. Or it could have been to stop me from going to travel, which I had plans in February to go traveling down south. And basically, you know, it could have stopped me from a wreck. It could have stopped me from something more brutal. It could have stopped me from a lot of things, you know, or maybe it was to stop other people. I don't know. Not just directly towards me, but overall, I look at that and I say to myself, man, there's a lot of things that could be there. There's a lot of excuses that could be there, a lot of understandings, but they'll unfold as time goes on. There goes a tree cutter again. I'm sorry, everybody. They'll unfold as time goes on. They'll move forward as time goes on. And I'll understand as time goes on. I just feel like, regardless of what may happen, I have to say, what shape is the love and the fruit being made into? I see myself as that big watermelon heart, passion fruit heart, not squared up in a box. Now, even though it's beautiful and cool, don't get me wrong, It's just that box that's shaped compact square. It's just no other sides, just four corners. But that heart can just loop around and go and just make these beautiful shapes over and over of love and what it is. Now, ultimately, I know we all have choices, we all have times, we all have things that happen, but don't allow anyone to reshape the fruit of your heart. Okay, no matter what the title is, it doesn't matter. Don't allow something or someone. When you go into work, go in smiling. Okay, do things by the way they're supposed to. And if any of your coworkers or whoever's not doing it, don't be them. Don't fit into the box just to think that you're out of the box. Okay, you go in to do traffic. Don't be like the other people and just sit there and try to cut off people or road raging. Be who you need to be in front of God and always within, because God is within and without, which is never without. When you go to a daycare, smile at all the children, not just yours. When you go into a restaurant, say hello to the waiter, even if they seem kind of posh or rude. You know, first of all, know your atmosphere, because first of all, I believe in Mr. Myron Golden was saying, I'm just saying, check him out. Not soliciting him, but he's pretty amazing in my book. But I don't know, Dr. Myron Golden or Myron Golden, but his channel is Myron Golden. Also, Bible study with Myron, pretty cool. We're gonna get there too, don't worry. But got a shout out. I don't hate on nobody that's doing what they gotta do. But he was saying that he go to a restaurant, he's like, even if he's with his friends, he won't make a scene or anything. He'll let them do their thing. But if he sees the ambiance is off or something that he ain't cool with, he'll like, all right, cool. Like he'll wait it out with them. Maybe I don't know if he gets a spritzer or whatever he's gonna drink, and then he says, okay, he'll go get something to eat for his night. He said, I'm not wasting my meal that night on someone's attitude or the altitude of that place. And I believe that too. I'm not gonna waste my time or anybody else's for someone's whole thing. Like if I'm by myself, it's different, but I'm not gonna go in there feeling the attitude and the vibe and knowing it's not right and still order. Unless it's like a super bad emergency, hypoglycemia, something like that, I got you. But other than that, ultimately, go in there, sit down, bring the energy that you want. Right? It's just the point where, hey, how you doing? I'm good. You remember how many people you see? I used to be a server too. How you doing? I'm good. Oh, yeah, they're talking, cut you off. Can I get a Pellegrino? Okay. Can I get a diet soda? Sure. And some are just very cold and cut off, but still, I still show that measurement of love. All right. Anything else? All right. You have a phenomenon. Well, what got into you? See, they know they didn't get into you. That's why they understand why you getting into them. Oh, I mean, yeah. Well, you're not. I didn't get any tips. I didn't get any tips either. So it wasn't for that. I gave people other tips. I let them take tips. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to get tips at the time. So I was kind of like that. My pay setup wasn't like that. And I'll be like, nah, I said, it's just a good day to be alive. And in my mind, I'm thinking in the back, like, I'm here. I clocked in to serve. Okay. I'm here to do what I got to do. So regardless of how you show up to eat your food or what you want to do or what you're going through, I'm still going to silently pray for you, but ultimately tell you, hey, this isn't benefiting me more to absorb this negative energy from you to cast it out somewhere so that you don't spread that out. See, that's another selflessness in a good way, though. I'm absorbing what you got so you can throw it away and catch something new. So whoever you go to or whoever you affect will be better than what you're showing up to right now. People aren't conscious of that. It's just their world. Their world, that's it. Nothing else exists. Boom. And a lot of us think everyone's in our world. Oh, they're looking at me and look at how I dress, look at this, look at that. Unless you're purposely trying to get that much attention, most people just have a quick thought and it's done. Either way, do not, like I'm trying to say, don't let somebody shape the essence of your fruit within love and the fruits that your love bears within its shape. Ooh, don't let someone change the sweetness and the bitterness depending on what they want you to be according to their altitude and their attitude. And no matter what you go through, remember, you can ask the Father, you can ask God, can you give me another chance? Can you show me the way? Can you give me that opportunity? Because I was so ignorant, Lord, I didn't understand. But if it be thy will that is done, Lord, please let me set the house straight somehow. Within me, renew a right spirit, or let me figure it out. That's what it is. You have the right to request. You don't have the right to remain silent. That's God. Like people want you to feel so far away. God created you out of the millions of sperm to be here. God didn't have to let that happen. God doesn't have to let that happen. He didn't have to let it be. Well, I didn't ask to be here. Well, you are. So get over it. Ride it out. The people I love, some took their lives, some didn't. Some just took their lives in other ways without trying to get their life straight. But at the same time, count it all joy and be blessed. Why can the homeless man be happy or the homeless woman when they're sitting there with a sandwich for the day in their cardboard box, smiling and hanging out, or living in the woods? Some of them actually enjoy that life. It's more than just rent free, is the point of just to be away from the quote societal norms of what looking good and Gucci and Prada are, or getting out of a bad looking truck and trying to look all sexy and trying to be all this and getting there's a lot of maintenance to keep up that kind of to keep up the look that you're trying to live the life. And a lot of them are just chill and humble, clean. They just rather stay away. And some people are just bush people. Some people like living in the forest. Some people like living on the ranch. It's just your cup of tea. But at the same time, we have an option to say we're here. Out of all the sperm that are here, all the things that are here, from all the transition in life, we all have different levels of life to live in order to affect other people's levels of life that they live, and hopefully in a better, positive way. I know the world's crazy. The presidency, the president is going blitz, doing whatever he does in his method to his madness. You know, we got a billionaire over here smiling and doing this and that. I always tell people, like, I have enough trying to get up every day, trying to get energy every moment, trying to figure out if I will go to sleep until 2 to 3 p.m. all the way till 9 p.m., trying to rejuvenate my body, which is very hard for me to even sleep throughout the whole night. And it was hard before because I couldn't shut down due to what my dad had. We just stay awake for weeks and weeks straight. I know, tell me about it, a whole nother story. So yeah, it's a whole nother level to a whole nother devil. But we don't have to live with demons. See, God's gonna take care of the devil, and God takes care of all the other levels, but we don't have to deal with people's demons, and we can shut down ours because we have the ultimate parent, the ultimate creator of all things. If you resist the devil, he shall flee. And that's what I have to do. We have to do it, learn that every day, no matter how hard it may be, no matter how hard we strive. We have to be able to take these things into our lives and evaluate them and say, where are we at in the fruits and passion and love and shapes? Because I don't want someone turning the shape of my fruit of love into some random monster looking face, based on how they feel. They're not going to change my sweetness. They're not going to change anything into that. They're going to keep what they got or just take some of what I have. Repeat that. They're going to keep what they got or take some of what I have. If you're sour, bitter fruit, you're going to take some of my sweetness. Okay. Or you're going to keep what you have and keep it moving. This journey is to say, I got treated like crap. Probably like 70% of the time in the hospital, I got treated like SHIT. I'm not even gonna lie. And I can say it's a cultural thing, and a lot of it is, you know, because even the cultural people who came in to take care of me was talking about how it is from the inside. So that was confirmation right in front of my family. So you know, people are open to speak with me and I keep that confidentiality, but at the same time, if it has to be utilized, it's spoken about. So I looked at that and I'm thinking, man, like even from how I got treated, from hygiene to help to attitude to almost, it's just was so much. And I have to roll that out more and more. Like I said, I probably have more of a community style thing with Patreon and different things, where it's just access to that because it is a sacred feeling of going on. But I will unveil that as we go. But in different parts. But yeah, it was hard. It's hard to deal with that much drama and emotion and being treated like crap, not having family and friends and partners and different things show up the way they should be. You know, my brother bringing me some flowers. Not that I want balloons and stuff, but it's amazing how I asked God for this in so many ways earlier last year. But oh, Lex, you called it upon yourself. Maybe I did, but not in this way. But I asked God, Lord, please. I was actually thinking, man, maybe something major happening will let me see who's really in my corner, because you don't really see anything until something major happens. Like my friend, some years ago, he had an accident. His fiance left him. Long story short, I helped nurse him back, you know, and get there as his friend. And she wanted to come back in his life. And oh, you're healed now. Now you can walk. Now you can this. Now we can be together. And he's like, nah. Why would I want to talk to you during my lowest times? It let him know he was going to get into a relationship with a partner that never had good for him. And at the end of the day, he had to learn and experience and grow as well by himself in a different way and know who was there for him that never wanted anything from him but the best. And I say that to you. It made me look at like, man, who am I dealing with? The weak spots, the traumatic spots. Every time I go down, who's going to be there to lift me back up? Because I know I can't depend on everybody or expect everybody to do so, but I'm always there for people 150% as much as I can. And sometimes I want them to be a little stronger by themselves. So I let them kind of stand up and see if they can, you know, like a kid trying to walk. But it let me know now God is the only strength that I need. Like I knew that before, but I really, really know it now. and moving forward to have a future husband or to have a life with that. I believe my children will have enough love and sense inside of them to be that way. And I kind of long for not having children years ago. Hopefully I can adopt some beautiful children or foster care if I don't have any biologically. God rest the soul of the child that I got a chance to take care of for a while back in the time. But I will say that no matter what it may be, no matter what time you feel it is, just know that it will always reveal itself. It will always reveal itself of who's really there. And maybe it didn't have to take this, but really, this right here takes the cake. This right here is a top of the line type show you stuff. And it lets me know to have a stronger brigade and stronger people around me, as long as I can also keep myself enough strength. Because really, in my weakness, I allow weak people and weak situations to come around me. And I thought it was me being at my strongest, but I was burning myself out, overtired, always there for people, compensating for people, and over the top. And I'm like, man, I really believe that. But what it did was just make my whole essence and my circle weak, because it was just, hey, she got it. So I needed people to know, even though I'm at my strongest and getting to the strong, I still need to understand when I'm down and out or come out, like the guy who, those TV shows where people pretend that they're not a prince or a princess to see who their true friends are. I need to be able to see those qualities in people so I can know who's there in my corner. Not to be like, oh, if I need $1,000, I just had to hit them up. But yeah, if you could hit me up for something, I need to make sure you're right on that caliber to where I can hit you up for a bed and some meals for a week or two. It has to be a balance. Otherwise, if you with someone who's broke and don't like being broke and you're a person well off, what do you think is going to be the counterbalance of that? They're going to be envious or upset that you're not helping them, or you're going to feel obligated, or you're going to be to the point where you might need to maneuver with them and do some things and grow your net worth or whatever it might be, for example, and they can't help you because they're too busy being a bum, right? Unless two can agree, how can they walk together? That's what the Bible says. So my energy is coming to a halt. I don't know if we can split this into part 2 or part 1. We'll see what happens. Either way, we're going to get right back into the conversation as always on here. But thank you for being with me. I'm trying to give the best that I can from the energy that I have. And this is probably going to shut me down all the way until tonight sometime with whatever else is going on for my energy having to go different places and still keep things maneuvering. But yeah, I just want you to remember, do not let anyone reshape the fruit of your love, that God made you to be that perfect heart. Don't let it compact you and change you into that. No matter how bad you get treated, no matter how many things are going on, because I felt like I was going to die almost every second. The weakness, no food, just completely, just no, nothing, just sitting there, my face not washed, my teeth not brushed, just going to surgery after surgery, just different spirits coming in the room and saying that they're there to help take care of me, but yet they wouldn't even lift to get me a brand new blanket to lay on, or let alone even help me to the bathroom. It's a whole nother level. I'm telling you, we're going to get into it, but I don't want to spend too much energy on that right now because we got better things coming and more of this later. So this has been a little conversation about the, no more yesterdays, no tomorrows, only today, But yeah, this right here, Passion of Love edition. Either way, I love you. Remember to be the change, feel the passion, embrace the power of the spirit, because it's always calling from within you and doesn't want to be without you. Okay, you're amazing. You're lovely. I miss you all. Thank you for being supportive, and my team, all of you. And we'll be back with you very, very soon. Blessings.